Hello my friends, thank you so much for taking time out of your day to join me for this video. I had a pretty rough afternoon yesterday. I had a migraine and it ended up being a pretty long-lived one, it felt like. When I get them, I get the visual disturbance. Sometimes they're described as migraine with aura, but I had that and, just the pain from the headache setting in. It was like late afternoon, Bub was at work, Mom and Dad took the kids and they ended up having a sleepover over there. Bub went to go pick them up. They're like, no, they're gonna stay here. Okay, thank you. I got an amazing night's sleep. I probably got the best night's sleep I've had in a long time. So I actually do feel like getting up here and doing a video, but I'm gonna do a quick makeup look today. I feel like not pushing it. So we're gonna keep it quick. I have noticed on social media lately, I've had quite a few questions about SPF, what sunscreen works well under makeup. This is my absolute fave. It's the Supergoop Every Single Face Watery Lotion. It's an SPF 50. It is really thin and light, and it definitely doesn't interfere with makeup. I've gotten my mom onto it as well. It's always the last step of my skincare routine when I sit down here to start doing makeup. So I just thought I'd point that out, that I do definitely recommend that. And as for the rest of my look, we're keeping it easy. We are going to get a little extra SPF out of this product here. This is the Tarte BB Blur Tinted Moisturizer. I had gotten this last year during their little sale. I guess it was around this time last year where they do that like 7 full-size products or whatever. And this is actually a really good one. It feels thin. It feels like light as air actually as you put it on your skin. And then you blend it and you actually do have some decent coverage. Like I said, a little extra SPF, but it just has this almost mousse-like feel, but just really light. It truly does have, I think, a blurring effect. But when it comes to blending, just couldn't be easier to blend. I really don't have another product that feels exactly like this. But see how that just evened out the skin tone? I feel softly mattified maybe, but it's kind of a natural skin look. I was very well moisturized underneath, so I'm not looking real dry and flat, but I don't know, I just feel totally smoothed as far as the pores around my nose. The shade I wear in this is light medium, by the way. Okay, then I'm gonna do some easy to blend concealer. This is L'Oreal's True Match Serum Concealer, Light C1. And this isn't my fullest coverage concealer, but I feel like I'm doing casual makeup today, so I'm not super concerned with heavy coverage. Just a little coverage where I need it would be fine, I think. e.l.f. Tap and Blend Concealer Brush. And something I realized, by the way, talking about migraines, I know an important thing to take is magnesium if you're prone to migraines, and I feel like I'd gotten off my vitamins a little bit, like end of school year, things being busy, just not being as consistent, not having them all sorted out into my little sorter thing and just hoping I remember, and that's on me. That changes today. Magnesium, drinking plenty of water. Also, I'm one who sometimes gets a migraine as kind of like the letdown after big events and exciting things. And I don't know, the end of the school year, always very exciting. We got a trampoline. That was a mega exciting thing for all of us. And I don't know, they don't always come out of bad stress, I guess is my point. Wow, that blended in nicely. Just gave me a little boosted coverage where I need it, around the under eye. Nice. We're definitely going to set it. I used my e.l.f. Halo Glow yesterday and kind of had forgotten how good this powder is. It's the light pink shade. Tap out a little bit of that and press it in around my under eye. Oh, it's also that time of the month, so that's always helpful for a migraine wanting to get going, right? I'll be okay. I'll be okay. Anybody else ever like that though? You get one and then your mind immediately scans for all the reasons why this might have happened. Okay, I'm taking my Morphe Under Eye Bullet Brush and I take that kind of ample amount of powder that I put there and I find myself just sort of smoothing and blending it around. Doesn't that look good? And your brush usually has still more powder on it, so if you want to tap it elsewhere around the face. My coverage is really like light to medium. I feel like I'm a solid medium up on the places where I put concealer, but elsewhere I'm seeing my freckles, and I don't need a ton of coverage there. Next up, I'm doing bronzer. I'm pulling out my Rimmel Natural Bronzer. This is in Sundance. If I know I'm just wanting to keep it quick and easy, like this is not an ultra dark bronzer, and it just always goes on without me needing to do a lot of work. Just gently blending it around my hairline, not too much, you know, it's fine. May keep it out and use it as a little eyeshadow. I know someone will say, like, yeah, if you've had a headache, you know, you don't need to do a video. But I will say, like, this makes me feel good. There might be some people who really think that these videos are somehow duty-oriented, like feel like work or something like that. No, they feel like play. They feel like complete goodness and happiness and light. So I know it's good for me to do them. Okay. I've put it on in my sort of contour zones. I've got a little gentle thing going on there, but I also want to work it up just a little bit where the sun naturally hits. It's summertime, I think it makes sense. And then we have a new blushy thing to try. I think it's going to end up being like a combined blush and highlighter. Finally got my hands on one of these from Rimmel. It's called the Multitasker Turbocharged Glow. Some almost seem like a combo bronzer highlight. I was interested in this one that looks sort of like a blush. It's called Not a Basic B, and I'm going to try it for the first time today. Yeah, I think we've definitely got a cool pinky pigment going on here, so let's give ourselves a little bit. I think it's going to be real shimmery too. Take the good old Sephora 56. Wow. Really, really glowy, but yet I am seeing the pink. Like, wow. I would say it's even more glowy than I was expecting. It's about the level of pinky pigment I was hoping for. Hopefully it sets and wears really well too. I feel like it's blending easily. I had this dot kind of sitting over there for a while and I don't feel like I'm having any struggle with the blend. It's looking good. What do we think? Fresh? Glowy? Not too sticky. It made for a nice kind of quick 2-in-1 step, I would say. For brows, I had been sent the Brow Boss from ColourPop. It's a little skinny brow pencil, and then also we have a gel, which is clear. So I think I'll use that today. Try this out. Got the little spoolie so we can brush through our very slept-on brows. And this pencil is in the dark brown shade. So it is, you know, a skinny pencil like a Brow Wiz or the Morphe Micro that I've been using a little more lately. Not quite as tiny as a nano pencil, but still okay for me. Seems to be laying down easily, but not out of control. That right brow is just always ready to go. Nice and easy. Left brow has a few more needs, but I would say I'm having a fine time with this. I'm actually loving the way that looks on the cheek. When it's hitting the light, I'm getting that highlighter effect, but when it's not, I'm seeing more of the pink. It kind of reminds me of the ones from L'Oreal in application and in pigment level, but kind of just a softer color choice than those. And like I said, some of these in this range look like they would be a straight highlighter. Some might be a little more bronzy, but this was the one I thought just from looking online that looked like it might be doubling up as blush. Okay, I think that'll do it on the brow fill-in. Now let's use, now we're using our Brow Boss little gel. Smallish brush. I don't feel like I'm getting overloaded with product here actually. Oftentimes I do. But I would say that did pretty well. I don't know if I got quite as good a fill-in on my left brow, but that's just me, not the product really. I'm putting a little bit of my e.l.f. eye primer on just because I think I'll go over my lids with some of that bronzer. Like I said, I'm just in the mood to make it easy on myself today. Here's that bronzer, Rimmel Sundance again. Just go in with your crease brush. So many people, you know, will use this as a shortcut. And it really, you know, it's a fine method to get a little something going on the eyes. Very, very soft crease. And then I'm going to pick some up with my Morphe M303. And just so there's kind of some continuity there, and I think everything will just look fresher all day. Topping off that eye primer, giving myself one consistent powdered texture. Obviously, we're not getting loads and loads of color here from this step, but I'm just tapping it on. Next up, I'm curling lashes. Today, I'm going to use my Milani Highly Rated Fan Club and my e.l.f. Lash Extender. Sometimes when I'm doing lashes and only lashes, complete absence of liner, and overall a really light eye look, like I know this will really make my lashes show. See what I mean? It just like bulks them up instantly. You get a really dark lash with this one. Some good thickness. See, look at that. Nice. Got that on. I think I'm up to 2 coats over here, but still 1 on the left eye. Got a few specks I'll need to flake away, but that's okay. That is kind of the challenge of that mascara. The brushes are really big. And just a little down here. I never really am looking for a heavy lower lash. And just a light touch of this e.l.f. lash extender is usually just right. I think I've got the mascara situation figured out there. And then for some staying power, I'm gonna go on my lips with one of my e.l.f. stains. So this is Plums Up. That's gonna go first, and then I'm gonna do a really comfy, like, tinted balm on top, okay? I adore these, as you guys know. They go on so easily with that doe foot applicator, and then just smooth it out on the top. There's Plums Up. The total weightlessness of it all is great, and you can use them lips and cheeks. And then I pulled out my Glow Reviver Melting Lip Balm. This is in the shade Yummy Gummy. I thought that might be pretty on top. Gone pretty soft on the rest of the face. We'll go with sort of a statement lip. I tell you what I did after about hour 2 of the migraine. Definitely took a nice hot shower. If you're having any kind of headache, I feel like nothing beats just the warmth of that shower. And after washing my face, I just took my little washcloth and just held it right there on the side of my head, and it felt so good. Okay, bring on the Yummy Gummy. So these do have some color, as you can see. A nice comfy feel. Love that. I talked about them in my e.l.f. video, how, you know, they feel like, to me, they're not always something that I incorporate into a lip combo just because of the application style. I don't know. I'm more prone to pulling in a doe foot applicator product, but this is the style that I'll grab for more likely later in the day after everything's worn off and I'm just kind of touching up, just adding something on. Gosh, that really does smell like gummy worms or a gummy bear. Wow. But I think these got in my head after the last e.l.f. video, and I'm just like, yeah, I want to use another one of those today. But pairing it over top of one of those stains, which of course is fully dried down, locked in, it's a very easy layering thing to do, I think. So guys, there's my finished look. I know it wasn't anything crazy or different, not even tons of different product info here right now, but I just wanted to do it. I wanted to get on and be with you guys and just share with you today, and I thank you for taking time out to watch. So have a great day, everyone. If it's not a great day, I understand. Take it 1 hour, 1 minute at a time, and you will get through it. I love you guys. See you next time. Bye.